Alright, here we go. This is day 9 of the individuation process for the 31 days of October. This video is going to be all about a person seeing themselves from a different standpoint based on actually knowing that what they're hearing from other people is just a reflection of how they feel about themselves. So these people, here's a person here, and here's a person here, right? This person is projecting their insecurities onto this person. When this person can see it for what it actually is and just realize that it has nothing to do with them, it changes the dynamic, right? And then this person is just making noise, and it's really just a matter that this person is talking to themselves and this person is listening. And that's what it kind of comes down to. But the question to ask here is, how do I see myself differently knowing that other people project their ideas, their thoughts, their feelings of themselves onto me? That's really what it is. And the sooner that you can really understand this, like, projections are very important to understand, because if you don't understand them, like, if you don't see them clearly for what they are, like, this person's coming to me and they're just, saying this, that, and the other, it's really how they feel about themselves, but they're trying to give it to me and I'm not taking it, so I'm going to give it back to them. I might even say, that's your shit, not mine. And that'll piss them off probably, because who wouldn't that piss off? But yeah, it really comes down to projections, and it's very important to understand that too, because projections make up a far majority of how people see themselves, right? Think about it this way. Here's a parent, here's a child. Very vulnerable, very just filled with negativity. This parent, filled with negativity, projects all of their shit onto this child, thus creating a child with, low self-esteem, who doesn't see themselves in a beneficial light. Lack, unworthiness, undeserving, all that stuff, right? When you are not taught to see this stuff clearly and all you do is just take on other people's shit, you're going to be very confused. You're going to be somebody who walks around thinking that you belong with, a low self-esteem, that you are unworthy, all this, that, and the other. But this is why it's important to ask yourself how you would see yourself, or how you see yourself differently, knowing all that stuff, knowing that it's just projections. It's just projections from other people of how they see themselves. One of the coolest insights I ever got in life was realizing that people are just talking to themselves and you're listening. That's literally what projections are. They're like, maybe they're like, oh, I'm so upset about my life, this, that, and the other, and I don't know what else to do with this hot potato, so I'm just going to give it to you. Let's play a game of hot potato, hot potato, hot potato, and just keep going back and forth, and you go on to the next person, the next person, the next person, and then it's just a fucking shit show. But the reason why it's so important to see this is because foundationally, for a lot of people, the things that they carry around are not even theirs to carry around. And I know that I've said this a million times, and I'll say it a million more times, because people need to get it. And if they're not getting it, it's an issue. Because if you're not getting it, if you're not seeing it for what it actually is and where it came from, projections, you're going to mistake it as yours, and you're going to end up carrying it around for fucking decades, not doing anything beneficial about it, especially giving it back to the person who fucking gave it to you. Like those old fucking dusty boxes in the fucking attic that never had anything to do with you. Oh, this is my pain. I'm not trying to make fun of anyone, by the way. But like, oh, this is my pain and I don't know what else to do with it, so I'm just going to give it to you, and you're not going to know the difference, so you're just going to take it, and it's going to fuck up your life. It's going to fuck up your fucking relationships. It's going to fuck up everything, and that's just how it is. Like, no. See this stuff for what it is, and it changes the game for everyone. Because that's just the way that it works. Like, say for instance, if you didn't know this before, and now you know that what other people say to and about you is just a reflection of how they see themselves, previously you would mistake it for your problem. I can imagine you would, right? And that's an issue, because it's not your problem. Never has been, never will be. And that's why seeing it for what it truly is, and not being blinded by all these ideas of, oh, this person thinks this of me, they think that of me. It's like, no, they think that of themselves. They feel that way about themselves. They're just telling you. They're just using your name, insert name here. Like, it's that simple. Projections are a very, I wouldn't say simple thing, but when you can spot them, it can change the game for you completely. And when it does that for you, you don't approach things the same way as you used to, right? So whatever ideas that, your parents or the authority figures in your life growing up instilled in your mind, they were just, that was all their shit, not yours. And then you, because you couldn't tell the difference, because you couldn't tell the difference between this and that, and you mistook it all for yourself, you didn't know what the fuck was going on. You just took it all on, and you developed as somebody with, ideas of lack, ideas of, unworthiness, feelings of low self-esteem. You didn't think you were a good person. You never really knew why, because everything was vague to you. Because everything that, these people fed you didn't make sense. And it just felt painful, because it was painful, because they were giving you their pain. And you took it. That's all. But part of the individuation process is to see that stuff for what it is and where it came from, and then to give it back. Just, no, here. All these old, moldy, dusty, cobweb boxes from the attic that we haven't looked at in decades, you gave it to me, I'm giving it right back. That's your shit. Or maybe that's not even your shit, but that's not my problem whether or not it's your shit. Take it back. Just give it back. And then you can see it, and then when people come to you and they got a whole bunch of shit, a whole bunch of hurt, a whole bunch of negativity they're trying to give to you, you just look at it and be like, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not confusing that. I'm not mistaking that. That's not my shit. I know exactly where that's coming. Maybe I don't know where it's coming from, but I know that it's not mine, so I'm not going to take it, It's very simple, and it's cool when you actually go through the process. Again, if you want to know how people feel about themselves, just simply look at how they talk to you. Just simply look at what they say when they talk to you. That's it. People are walking projections, whether positive or negative. Either they're trying to project their confidence onto you, or they're trying to project their, low self-esteem bullshit onto you. And if someone's trying to project their confidence onto you, it can actually be, what's the word to use? I guess a hindrance or non-beneficial. The reason is because, if it's just not the thing that you need or the thing that you need to hear, and you end up taking the advice, it could take you down a path that would not be beneficial for you to go down. So it's not just like, oh, well, people project their confidence and that's a good thing. It's like, no, if you are uninformed, if you are uneducated on behalf of something, and they're projecting yes, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it, right? And you need this foundationally, just, inserting an idea, this foundationally, and you don't have that foundationally, and then you make the decision and you move forward, things could not turn out well. That's just the way that it is. So what it really is a matter of seeing projections for what they are. And then, of course, bringing all of your energy back to yourself and asking, what does the self want? That's one of the most important things you can do. Ask what the self wants. That might actually be the next question that I ask. Yeah. Anyway, great video. And here we are at day 9. Again, question again. How would I see myself differently, and how would I guess I'll kind of extend this question or expand it. How would I see and feel myself differently? I don't know if feel's the right word to use. How would I see myself differently, knowing that other people project their own thoughts and feelings of themselves onto me?